Hello, hope you are doing well. Today I am going to take up a session on creative writing. This is part of your course for class 11. The name of the book is Hornbill and lesson 6, creative writing. I had taken 2 sessions on creative writing. In our previous sessions, I had talked about what is creativity, creativity and writing, creativity and language, literary writing, and we were discussing that you have to observe, be imaginative, read a lot so that your vocabulary is effective and you can choose the form and the style that you like. Now here is an example. The author Vikram Seth has written a full-length novel, The Golden Gate, in verse, novel in verse. Okay? Here is an extract from it. John's looks are good, his dress is formal, his voice is low, his mind is sound, his appetite for work's abnormal, a plastic name tag hangs around, his collar like a votive necklace, though well paid, he is far from reckless. See, in verse he has written the entire novel. Literary writing does embody certain distinguishing characteristics. It is a self-conscious, imaginative mode of writing, which uses words not just to convey information, but as an art form. Ultimately, it is a response to life. There is a well-known Tamil proverb which says that you can ladle the soup out of a pot only if the soup is in it. Well, if you have all these things in you, observation, you empathize with people, you observe nature, you have a rich source of vocabulary with you, then only you will be able to create something. The primary requisite for writing is to have something to write about. What is this something and how can it be obtained? This something can be an idea, a thought, or an experience, a feeling of joy and excitement, an unforgettable person, or an incident. If you have something within you, you seek an outlet to express it either in the form of an essay or a novel or a short story or a poem. You can choose the style. However, do not push yourself to do something for which you do not have a natural flair. You can choose the form by virtue of the experience that you want to express. Art and literature are called creative. We have understood this much? Why? Note down a few points. Elaborate with 2 examples. Can you elaborate? Yes, we have discussed so much because they are our expressions. They are part of our imagination. They are part of our observation. Right? Please write 2 examples, explain them, and then you can share it with your friends, with your teacher, and also with us. Let us discuss this question now. Creativity enriches with practice. How? You all agree with me on this? Yes, you do. You interact with your family members on a daily basis. Do you or do you not? In their work, where do you come across creativity? Describe the same. You have to write this answer. You see, when you draw a painting, your mother cooks a new dish, or your father makes something, or you make something, isn't that creative? So you can describe that. Or you have observed your family working together in the garden. That is also a creative thing. You can describe that. So there is creativity all around us, but most of the times we do not notice it. Have you ever reflected on this aspect? Start reflecting. You will find creativity in everything, and then look for appropriate words, and then imagine, and you start writing. I am sure you will be able to create something. So, what do we need to create? A basic desire to create something. We must have the desire to write, a keen awareness of the world around us that includes nature, people, society, a rich imagination, an ability to use words meaningfully and skillfully, a fairly good amount of knowledge and information. So, from where this knowledge and information going to come? Reading. You read and you will get that knowledge. You will automatically start analyzing it. You will critically look at the things, and then you will have your own opinion about it, which you can write. You must have a sense of observation. Now, we also write a report or an article, okay, that is part of our syllabus. Writing a report or an article also requires the steps that we need to follow for creative endeavors. Remember, any writing for that matter requires this process. We have advertisements, news, sports, features, reviews, columns, investigative, editorials, social media, blogs are there, to name a few. They are all creative endeavors. Let us discuss about media now. Today, mass media plays an important and prominent role in our daily lives. That is for sure. And its influence is increasing day by day. The media boom has led to a demand for a wide range of communication systems. Information regarding current events, trends, issues and society is collected, analyzed, verified and then presented. As a reporter or as a presenter, you just cannot present things which are not verified. So, when you are writing a report, you have to do some kind of research around it. Then only it will be a good report. Its presentation can be, through print or electronic media, since media is specifically envisioned and designed to reach a very large audience. It does require creativity to capture the attention of the readers, listeners and viewers. New forms of communication like radio, television, internet, mobile phones, etc. require an entirely new kind of writing. How are you going to present your writing? Through these modes. Earlier, the film too had created new modes of writing like screenplays, scripts, etc. to meet the demands of the new form. Advertising too requires creative and innovative expressions to capture the interest of the target audience. The growth of media is driven by technology that made it possible to duplicate material in large numbers for the public. That is the advantage. You write a blog, so many friends can see it. Even we can read your blog. So, therefore, it can reach many people. Contributions are made from liberal arts, humanities, sciences, social sciences, etc. Thus, media is very closely connected with society and culture. And our expression through language is also about society, culture and art forms. However, the focus should not only be on disseminating the information, reproducing it in large volumes. The information or presentation should meet certain standards. Therefore, you have to follow the norms of writing. Media writing has to be objective, straightforward and endowed with a model of justice. Media plays a crucial role in highlighting the good as well as the wrong in society. Now, suppose you are asked to write a report on some incident that has taken place, what will you do? Will you give one side of the view or you will present both the views? Yes, you will present both the views. Now, the following news item is an example of how media brings us closer to incidents and happenings in our country as well as the world. You are familiar with this news. Every year on 26 January, children are given bravery awards. So, this is a news item about that. 22 children, 18 boys and 4 girls have been selected for the National Bravery Awards 2007. 4 will be given posthumously. The coveted Bharat Award has been bagged by Babita and Amarjeet from Haryana. They saved several of their schoolmates from drowning when their bus fell into the western Yamuna Canal. The awards are aimed at giving due recognition to children who distinguish themselves as performing outstanding deeds of bravery and meritorious service and inspire other children to emulate their example. This is an important news. Children must read it. We all must read it to encourage children, to appreciate them. You see, the role of media writing is very important. Media writing is not restricted to journalists or publishing houses. Even the common citizens can also make contributions to media writing as citizen journalists. This allows us to contribute towards the larger causes such as a world that is green and serene. You can write an article on environment and you can post it in your blog. As a citizen, you can bring about this awareness among people. So, article writing, report writing, advertisements which are part of your syllabus have an important role to play. Did you know? Going back to the ancient world, drama in different cultures was probably the first mass media as it was performed for a large audience and communicated a message as well. And how the form has changed today. Today we have social media. I am not even talking about print media. We have taken a step ahead. We have other means available to us to disseminate our views and make people aware of the things around them. So, there is one activity for you. Prepare a poster to spread awareness about the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, to prepare a poster, you have to do some research. You have to read about it. Then you have to design it. And finally, you have to create it. I hope you will enjoy doing it. Let us now talk about translation as creativity. Some people think that translation is not creative, but it is. Translation plays a major role in knowing and understanding the world around us. Since its inception, translation has played an indispensable role of transferring messages across languages and cultural barriers. By doing so, it continuously weakens the fences between languages, brings about their similarities and finds points of convergence amongst differences. How beautiful! See, translation is one activity, creative activity that brings down the fences. We start looking at other people's culture, their language, and we start appreciating that. And as you all know, India is a multilingual and multicultural country. It is needed more so in our country. We would not have been able to read the works of great writers and thinkers such as Plato, Aristotle, Darwin, Einstein, Vahamir, Kalidas, Anton Chekhov, G.D. Maupassant, Premchand, Rabindranath Tagore, Subramania Bharati, Q. Haider, Sadat Hasan Manto, etc., if their works had not been translated. The aesthetic sensibility of world literature can be enjoyed only through translation. For example, Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali, for which he won the Nobel Prize, was originally written in Bangla. His work received worldwide recognition because it was translated into English and in almost all the languages of the world. India is a multilingual and multicultural country. Its diversity can be celebrated in the real sense of the word by understanding and appreciating its diverse literatures, and this is being made possible through translation. In the fields of education, science and technology, mass communication, commerce, tourism, etc., the need for translation has increased greatly. Translation allows us to tap the rich knowledge base that exists in different languages and cultures of the world. Now we have come to the writing part. I hope it is clear to you that creative writing is not limited to only literary writing. We have to be creative when you are writing an article, preparing a poster or writing an article. Even doing translation would require creativity, right? So, let us do this activity. To understand and appreciate the significance of even the smallest thing in the world can be creative. Have you read articles written on ants or any other thing? Keep that in mind. Explain with 2 examples from your experience. Why do you think these are creative? Anything that you have observed, anything that you feel requires creative expression, you can share in this piece of writing, right? The next one, where all do you not find creativity in your locality? Now, this is your locality. We say creativity is everywhere, but here now I am going opposite. Specify where there is no creativity. I will give you just one example. When you see garbage, refuse littered all over the place, that is not so creative. That is not creative, isn't it? Do you agree with me or not? When it is full of dust, it is dirty, it is not creative. We have to keep our surroundings clean, then only it will be creative. So, describe in your own words. Now, I am going to discuss with you process approach to writing. I think this is the most important part of any writing. Whether you are writing an article or a poem or an essay or a report or a short story, you have to follow this process. Now, the process has certain steps. The steps are, first, you have decided about the topic. This is the topic that I am going to write. Now, brainstorming, collecting ideas. You might have to do some research on this. You will read, you will go to the library or you will Google. So, do some research, collect ideas, collect information, and in the process you will become familiar with the vocabulary related to that particular topic. Now that you have collected ideas, combine it with your observation, your imagination, and do the act of writing now. The second step, it is the process of writing. Here you have to choose the form, the style, whether you want to write a letter or a poem or a diary or an article. It depends on the topic and also what you have decided to write. So, form you have chosen, you have collected the ideas and now you start writing. Have you written the piece? Fine. The third step is reviewing and revising. Reviewing can be done by your friend, Why don't you have writing club? 3 or 4 friends can form a writing club. Whatever you write, you can share it with your friends. Seek their opinion. Maybe they can share some ideas. Maybe they can add to the vocabulary or to the style or to the presentation. You can also self-assess your work after a day or so. Once you have done that, you have received input, you revise it. That means you change wherever you want to bring about the changes. Next step is editing, and editing is an important step. Here you are going to put all the new ideas that you have got into that piece. You are going to change the words if you need. You are going to look at the punctuation marks, whether they are at the appropriate place or not. Right? Punctuation marks play an important role so far as writing is concerned. Once you have done that, then comes the final act of writing. We call it rewriting. Why editing is so important? I will share one example with you over here. When T.S. Eliot wrote his poem The Waste Land, he did not edit it himself. He gave it to his friend Ezra Pound, and Ezra Pound heavily edited it, and the edited version was published. You see, editing plays an important role. Here you check your punctuation marks, here you check your ideas, here you check the logical rendering, coherence and also presentation. Then you finally rewrite the piece. I have asked you to edit it once, revise it once. There are many writers who go through the process 4-5 times. So, the more you do it, you are honing the art. It becomes better. And always keep the audience in your mind. Who is going to read it? Right? If you are writing a letter to your friend, so the style will be very informal. But if it is an essay, maybe here it is a formal style that you will use. Okay, you can give your opinion, you can share the opinion of others also, and you can put all the steps in your portfolio. So that is creative writing. I hope you enjoyed, learning about creative writing, and the journey through the creative writing was enjoyable. With this, we have come to the end of this session. Happy writing. Write as many pieces as you can. Thank you.